Hello and welcome to this tutorial where we are going to create a Blazor WebAssembly application. This is going to be a simple tutorial on how to create or start a Blazor WebAssembly application. We're just going to follow the instructions from the Microsoft documentations, and also we're going to use ASP.NET Identity with a little customization because we don't want to get the ASP.NET prefix on the table names. Alright, in this tutorial we're not gonna discuss what Blazor is all about because I think there are already a lot of videos discussing that, and also I will not discuss about the two types of Blazor application, which are Blazor server and Blazor WebAssembly. Again, there are already a lot of video doing that, and our goal is to create our simple application, and hopefully on the next tutorials we can improve it by adding little bits of functionalities and features to it. And we hope that I hope that you can follow along and learn from these sample tutorials. Okay, to start with, I'm gonna open up Visual Studio and create a Blazor WebAssembly application. Select create a new project and select Blazor app. I'm just gonna name it Blazor WebAssembly app and click create. So now we need to select Blazor WebAssembly app, and we can click change here to enable individual user accounts and click OK. And we can also select ASP.NET Core hosted, so our client application will be hosted via a ASP.NET Core application. And we can also select progressive web application, so in the future, in our next tutorials, it's gonna be ready for us. Click the create button. So Visual Studio will generate our solution and the projects for us, and here they are. We have three projects. The client application, which is gonna run on the user side client browser, and the server application, and the third one is the shared application, shared project. So since we've added individual user accounts, there will be migrations generated for us initially, and if we're gonna inspect that, normally we will see the ASP.NET prefix on the table names, which is what we don't want. So we will actually modify this, so we can remove this two migrations file here, and to change the name of the tables during generation, we need to override the onModel creating in our application DB context, and we need to put some code here to do to change the table names. And for that, we need to go to the documentation under ASP.NET Core. We need to go to the security and identity. Under authentication, select customize identity. So this is the documentation for customizing the ASP.NET Core identity, and we're just gonna need to scroll down a little bit to find what we need, which is here, change table column names, and we just need to copy this part of the code and paste it on our solution. We're gonna have some errors because model builder, we just need to rename it to builder. Okay, and the identity user, we need to change it with application user because the generated code for us already created application user inheriting from identity user. So we need to use application user, and we need to bring in the namespace for the identity to remove the errors. And the last step would be to remove the my prefix here. Just doing find and replace, and I think that's it. We can now go ahead and recreate the migration, so we can initialize the database. So I think we need to remove this folder as well. We can remove that folder as well. So to do the migration, we can open package manager console. If it's not yet open, you can go to tools, NuGet package manager console. All right, and to add migration, just simply type in add migration and name it create identity schema, and the migration will be generated for us with that command. Okay, it succeeded. Right, so it's generated outside the data folder, so I guess we can just move it inside there. And if we inspect the generated file, you will notice that the table names are not anymore using the ASP.NET prefix, and which is what we want. Okay, so we can now do the update database command to actually reflect the migration to the database. And since this is the first time that we're gonna do the update, the database will be created for us. Okay, it succeeded. It has succeeded. We can inspect the database generated, and it's there. And as you can see, it's not using the ASP.NET prefix on the table names. All right, so I think we can now test our application by clicking F5, and it's gonna take a while because this is the first time that we're running our application. And there you have it, our default Blazor application. We are now in the home page. We can go to the counter and click the button to increment the count, and we can also go to the fetch data page to view the weather forecast. But the fetch data page is actually a secured page, so we need to log in, and to be able to log in, of course we need to register first. So I'm gonna do register to test our identity. Okay, since we have not set up yet the email confirmation, email change password, we're just gonna click here to confirm our account. But our goal is to do that on the next tutorials, and hopefully you can see me there. For now, we can just click here to confirm the account, and with that we can now log in. And there you have it. Now we can access the fetch data page to see the weather forecast. We can also click on the account here and see the profile, email, two-factor authentication, which is also not yet enabled. Hopefully we can do that in the next tutorials, and the personal data. And that's about it. The last step is, before we conclude, is to check the data that is inserted on the table. Okay, everything looks fine, and that's about it. Thank you for joining me, and hope to see you again on our next tutorial. Bye.